Yo.
Hey,
bud.
We're back.
What's happening?
5 for 5.
It's impressive.
5 weeks, 5 shows. I'm surprised that you can even commit to that many.
I am shocked at myself.
Okay.
I thought I'd get through maybe 3 and then start making up excuses.
I had thought the same thing. So we're in agreement for once.
Yeah, look at that.
Hey,
look at that. I got it in me. It's in me.
Hey,
Gatorade, is it in you?
I think it's in you.
It's
definitely
something.
in you right now.
So, we're getting to the end of the season here a little bit. If you live somewhere warm, I don't know. I don't want to. We haven't dropped an F-bomb here, I don't think so. I don't want to say F you, so I'll just say F you. If you live somewhere warm, then good for you.
Congratulations.
Yes. Here in the south suburbs of the greater Chicagoland area, they always say that, the greater Chicagoland area, it's starting to become fall. Yeah. And we're seeing the kind of the golfing season in general, tour golf, come to a close.
Yep. Leaves are off the trees. People are starting to layer. You know, I get scared when that happens because I generally don't do well with layers. So
you don't?
Yeah, I sweat a lot.
Oh,
I'm a sweaty guy. Yet I'm wearing a hoodie today.
Yeah, you wear a hoodie every day.
Hey, that's to keep everything packed in.
I think you're just trying to look cool,
sealed in tight. Well, I always look cool. So
this guy's just trying to dial in that drip every day.
No, but so I talked to a friend of mine in Nashville today, and he's like, "Hey, come on down, golf's great." And I was like, "Oh man, I wish, I really, really wish." But what are we gonna do?
So what I want to do is today is, I want to help out the golfers out there who are trying to buy golf clubs and help them make some better decisions. I find that. So a little background too. Sorry, a little background for both of us. I spent 8 years working in golf, retail, brick and mortar, fitting, sales, things like that. Andrew and I both have experience in e-commerce, sales for golf, customer service, things like that. So we both are pretty dialed into people's buying habits and how they buy.
Yeah.
And so I want to help people make better decisions. This could suit the avid golfer who buys clubs a lot and has been golfing for a long time. Or this can help the new golfer, I feel make some better decisions out there with their money.
Yeah, and my dude bros.
Yeah,
and my dude bros who have problems with spending, which, I was writing earlier, first blog, a little bit. I am definitely that person that doesn't know how to spend their money wisely.
Yeah,
those guys, those are some people that we're gonna try to look out for in this show.
Yeah, and look, hey, if you like to just light it up and buy a driver every year, kudos to you. That's cool. If you got 600 to burn, this one ain't for you, buddy. Check
out the Halloween special. Yeah, last one. That one was.
You can go back. You're clipping so hard there, bro. You can't go that close.
I'm sorry.
You're too loud. You're too powerful.
You're
too powerful. He's clipping. He's clipping. Yeah, those guys, I can't probably help them too much, though maybe I think I actually can. So, but in honor of it getting cold and being fall too, I want to kick it off with today's yogurt of the day. This is a new one. I've never had this brand, but in true cold weather fashion, this is Icelandic Provisions. Key lime, thick and creamy SKYR. I don't know what this word is. SKYR. Did not look it up.
I think it's supposed to be
do you think
Icelandic,
that is some sort of Icelandic word for
SKYR?
What do you think? You know what? Why don't you crack these open? I'm gonna look it up. Look it up.
No, I'll crack them open. By the way, you don't have to show the yogurt to everybody all the time. I'll bring up the picture.
I know you will.
And they'll be able to see it.
I know you want. I know. I want them to know.
I haven't zoomed in once.
So SKYR is a thick and creamy Icelandic yogurt. Okay. It's been a provision of Icelanders for nearly 1,000 years. Wow. Apparently, it's akin to yogurt, but it has a different texture. So I think we're about to get something new today.
Wow. So this is yogurt, but it's technically not yogurt. It's just an Icelandic kind of delicacy almost.
Maybe. It seems to be made out of the same kinds of things, milks and Is it strong?
Has a very yogurty smell. This might be a.
Oh, I like the thickness. It's thick with maybe 4 or 5 C's in it for sure.
Doug, I have problems with viscosities like this.
Oh no, that's delicious. That is legitimately delicious. You're probably gonna hate it. Oh, that's delicious.
Okay.
A taste as pure as Iceland. No artificial flavors, no artificial sweeteners, no preservatives, no RBST. Don't know what that is either. Do you know what RBST is?
Probably.
He can't even speak right now. My man can't even speak.
Dude, I love this. You see this logo? This little wolf logo, though?
Where's the wolf? Oh yeah, no,
Right
this is.
Oh, that's tight.
Okay, I'm really digging this right off the bat, right off the jump here. I like this. It's a no for you, dog.
It's. Here's the thing, like the yogurt, I'm too limey. Lime is not a flavor that I am looking for. Lime is like a flavoring to a drink.
Well, you keep saying everything's a dessert yogurt, and I can't.
This is,
and I don't know what that means because like it's literally like milk and sugar, which is just gonna be a dessert.
Yeah.
So I tried to. I was like, there's nothing savory out there. Well, there's no like. I
mean, berry
loaded baked potato yogurt or something like that.
Turkey seasoning. Thanksgiving.
So I thought, let me go away from like a berry or a caramel or a cookie. Let me get something
but berry's not really a dessert, sort of. I mean, that's all the time. Listen, I think lime is a hard flavor to capture like subtleties with. Like I feel like it could be
philosophical right here.
I just feel like it's very easy to overdo lime, and this was.
I disagree.
Very, very lime.
I think that's subtle. I'm just gonna come in hot. I think this might. Oh man, I really like this one.
I got it. I got a 5-5.
Oh my goodness, we haven't agreed yet. We've been. Oh no, maybe there was one we were within like 0.3 of each other.
I think so.
No, I am in. I am gonna go with a 7-9 here.
Wow.
I want to go into the 8, and I'm just not sure. Like I could
today.
Yeah, I could maybe later go 8-1, but I'm gonna go 7-9. I like that. I like that a lot.
I do like that. Like
the texture of it is quite
I do
delicate.
like the texture. It's just the flavor that's throwing me off.
Okay. So we'll keep Icelandic provisions on the list for later.
Yeah.
Maybe hit a blueberry or something.
Hit it again.
They had a blueberry.
Yeah.
Okay. That's that's a wrap on yogurt. People are telling us they want us to get in and out of the yogurt.
Yeah, let us know.
We're just gonna get in and out.
I think it's something that's kind of fresh that we started this concept on, so I don't mind it. Something new. We can put up a scale, talk about it a little bit, and get out of it.
Hey, I'm having fun.
Yeah,
I like to try. I'm in on Icelandic provisions. Cheers. Thanks, Icelandic provisions. And if you're out there, I'm digging you. So thank you. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I think I should just start tagging these companies.
You probably should. That's probably a good idea.
I think I'll just start doing that.
Yeah, why not? So the whole idea today, guys, is we want to help you with some real. It's not like a top 5, but maybe it is kind of like a top 5. There might be 6, but these are mistakes that people make when buying golf equipment, or myths about
misconceptions,
what you're supposed to buy. Yeah, misconceptions of what you're supposed to buy. And you're starting to kind of end the season, taking a look in your bag, right? I'm sure you do. You do this kind of at the end of the year.
Yeah, I mean, this is also one of the best times. You think about it. The one quick hit misconception is like when to buy golf clubs. People always think at the beginning of the season, like, hey, the newest thing came out at the beginning of the season. Actually, probably near the end when your game was honed and you had something that like would fit into your game more than something, and things are getting discounted. You're looking for Christmas gift, get the ideas, all that stuff. Yep. Anyway, I think you can kind of knock that one out at the end of the season rather than the beginning, just because they're coming out with the new stuff next year.
Yeah, and it depends what you're after. You know, if you are going to wait out the latest and greatest, you know, everybody should know the latest and greatest is going to come out usually in January and February. There's some stuff that drops in the fall.
Yeah.
But most of the big manufacturers are going to do their biggest releases of all their new woods, irons, etc. in January or February.
Yeah. 1 year to 2 year cycles.
Exactly.
Usually.
And so you're also going to see if you're a bit of a hardo, you're going to start seeing like leaked products coming out. You're going to see the photos and stuff on your like Golf WRX forums and things like that.
Yeah, the professionals have been playing it for a couple of months while they're testing out some
seeding, they call it.
Yeah.
So you know you're going to start seeing those things, and what happens is people start making a decision like based off that picture, right? Oh man, that new driver looks so good, man, and all of a sudden like you're locked into the purchase and haven't really done anything. So I think if you want, let's get into, you know, our top club buying myths and mistakes for the average golfer.
Kick us off. Talk to me.
First thing is I cannot tell you how many times I've seen this working in a golf shop. Instantly buying the matching woods, 3 and 5 wood, to the driver you're about to purchase. It is insane how frequently people they get fit for the driver or whatever. They hit the driver a few times. They go, cool, yeah, I'm gonna go with the driver, and just give me the 3 wood and the 5 wood to match too. It's baffling to me when you have the world is your oyster to choose from out there, and you're just not even gonna like hit it or even look at it. Sometimes they just go, yeah, just give me the 3 and 5. That's cool. Stiff shaft.
I like the match.
I like to match. Yeah, I like to match, and I can't get on board with it, and there's a few reasons why. One is you don't know that those two clubs are going to deliver the same type of performance gain the driver even gave you, right? So like right off the bat,
they could have straight up different technologies in the heads. I mean, you can't put with the surface area of a driver versus a 3 wood or a 5 wood. You can't put as much into, you know, material wise. You know, it's a different hollowness to each one.
Hollowness.
So like, yeah.
You don't see that in the ads too much.
No one ever. That's the one thing.
The hollowest driver and fairway wood on the market right now. They're all hollow.
There's space there.
Yeah. But yeah, no, like so. Yeah, I mean, they're gonna be kind of built. Yeah, of course. Like they're gonna say the whatever. I'm trying not to use manufacturers, but I'm gonna accidentally, and they're all hyperbole or like hypothetical.
Yeah.
But the 3 wood isn't gonna do exactly what the driver did for you. Per se, right? It certainly could, but it might not. And you know, the thing that people overlook, they just go 3 5. You may have been buying a 15 degree 3 wood for the last 15 years, and I've seen you play. You never get the thing in the air.
Yeah.
What is the point of that club, right? Like, so I think people are missing the opportunity, and they're not even seeing some of what's going on in the world where like higher lofted woods are starting to gain a lot of traction, right? Maybe starting with a 5 wood and adding a 7 wood to your setup, or a 9 wood even. You'd be shocked how well those clubs are going to perform for you because they're a little more forgiving. There's a little more loft, so they go higher, they go straighter, and it ends up net that 5 wood that goes a little higher and straighter goes farther than the 3 wood that you can't hit.
100%. And we're going to touch on this in other topics, in your others, but like also understanding your gapping from that. Like if a 3 wood's going to go the same distance as a 5 wood, but you're going to get loft on a 5 wood. Okay, well let's
what's
consider,
the point of having it
what are we really, are we splitting hairs here with there? And you just need to have that in your bag because it looks great, right. And we have the sequence. Because
you're supposed to.
We have the sequence. It's the same sort of thing of like saying, you know, you need to have 14 clubs in your bag too, which I don't think we put on any of these, but you really don't.
Yeah, you really don't.
There's a reason why beginners package sets or any of those others start with maybe just
10 or something.
10 or 11 clubs.
Yep.
Because you're not going to immediately know right away all of those gappings and what fits your specific game.
100%.
So.
And yeah, and the last part of this too is you may want to think about different models and brands as well to fit your needs, right? Maybe you want something for your 3 wood that's versatile, that fills the role of something you can hit off the tee for maybe you want that fairway finder on tight holes, but you also want something you can hit off the fairway. Make sure you're buying a club that does both of those things well.
Yeah.
Right? Maybe your 5-wood, you go, the 5-wood, what I'm going to use this for is like really long approaches on par 4s and to try to reach par 5s and get it to stop. Cool. Make sure you're buying something that goes high.
Yeah.
If this club's exclusive use is going to be to hit the green, don't get some like low lofted, low spin 5-wood. Get something that goes higher, or get a 7-wood or a 9-wood, right? Just slightly anecdotal, I added a 9-wood to my bag this year to kind of like replace let's say a 4-iron. And
just because I always have to rag you, like for the 3 rounds that you played all year?
I played like 7, okay? And it got a lot of action out there, that 9-wood, the 9 daddy. He got a lot of action. And what it did was, basically it kind of replaced a 4-iron. I said, I hit a 4-iron good, like 1 out of every 10 times. And when I hit it good, it goes this far. Well, cool. The 9-wood goes that far every time, super high, and it's insanely more forgiving than a 4-iron. So just in that one step alone, like I made my long game better by having this way better option for the same yardage. So I think anything else on that one? Or?
I think you're kind of segueing into my first point of distance and being more skeptical pre-purchase and to all of these pointed marketing decisions towards distance. Gaining 5 more yards, 10 more yards, 12 more yards. It's seemingly, I don't think I remember growing up and seeing all those ads. I might have just been blind to it, but like seemingly of the last, or at least last 15 years that I've been in the industry, distance has been the number 100%. One marketer. 100%. No more precision. Yeah, you'll occasionally hear a precision ad when it's talked about like golf balls or like wedges, but mainly you're marketing woods and irons as distance,
right?
Gain distance. And I don't know who that's exactly pointed at, if it's the young buck who thinks he can hit it 375 yards, or if it's the man who's losing distance and thinking, hey, I need to regain this. But you need to be very, very cautious when you see and hear all of that, because I've seen two types of people really come to me looking for distance. It's the guy every year that is saying like, oh, this is going to give me 5 more yards, 5 more yards, 5 more yards. Well, dude, you maxed out 5 years ago when you bought the same driver over and over and over again, and they didn't really put that much new technology into it. And you can't get 5 more yards when you're maxed out at 275 at 55, 60 years old. You're not going to get over that 300 mark. So like, what are you chasing?
Yeah. Yep.
And then the other guy is like a guy that hasn't bought a new thing in 10 plus years anyway. Anything off the rack is going to probably, within the last 5 years, is going to give you added distance. So don't be caught up on this whole new, okay, the newest driver is going to give me the most distance that I might have lost, or I might be losing, or I need to gain in any way, shape, or form. Yeah, that's not. It's a kind of a lost concept, especially on me.
And you know, in that guy's case, that I haven't bought a driver in 10 years. Yes, you could buy the 3-year-old model, and probably it will do wonders for you. But that doesn't mean you shouldn't look at the newest model as well. I mean,
for sure.
If you're here, you're probably the perfect market for getting the latest and greatest. Might as well go all the way.
Yeah, I mean, if you're doing a 10-year cycle, you probably haven't spent that much money anyway. You're doing a 10-year cycle, you have the Titleist 907D anyway. So like,
great driver.
Great driver. I think I still have a buddy that games that.
So what would you say is your takeaway here?
Just don't be hung up on the word distance and the way that it's marketed to the general golf community. When you hear distance, you need to be very cautious. What you're looking for in each brand of club that you're looking for. I think distance is mostly marketed in drivers, but also marketed in a lot of irons too.
Yeah, even fairway woods.
Yeah, so you just need to be cautious and make sure that you're not trying to gain the most distance. it's trying to fit into what you're looking to fix, what you're looking to fix in your game. Like, is an extra 5 yards, but your dispersion just went 20? Oh no. Okay. Well,
yeah,
what's that?
That's a loss. So that's perfect what you said, Barrett, because that was the question I used to ask people when I was fitting or selling somebody a club, whatever, off the rack. It was, well, why? What are you trying to achieve? And a lot of times they didn't have an answer to, like, what am I trying to achieve? I don't know. I just want to buy a new one. And again, like, that's normal. Cool. I want to buy a new one too.
And
right?
that's, I mean, when I said at the beginning of all of this, be careful with the marketing to that. That's the mindset that they want to get you in. People, the manufacturers, they want to get you in. Well, I'm just conditioned. I need to buy new. I've lost something. Something needs to be gained. I don't know what that is. Maybe it's probably distance.
Right.
They just go in, and that's where it's a trap. Guys like you are a dime a dozen in the industry of trying to.
We need more
do
me's. Golf manufacturers hate this man. Tune in to find out why.
So okay. So going from the long game to the short game.
Yeah. So on the same, I'm going to skip a little here because I just realized we are talking about some of the same things, but another category, because I think Andrew, even though he didn't say it, we're probably talking more about the driver world. The iron world definitely has a bit of a distance. What's the word I want? They're hell bent on distance right now as well, and that again, that's great. But we're seeing it across the board now. Game improvement irons, and even like these new what they call like players distance irons, right? It's like a better shape, smaller size, better looking head that fits a better player, but also has distance enhancing capabilities built into it. Awesome. Like, it's awesome that they've come to this in the last 5 to 7 years that this category now exists. But again, we're pushing distance as the main enhancement to your game, and frankly, it's not going to make that giant a difference compared to the things you might give up. A lot of people are giving up height, angle of descent, which is basically the angle the ball comes down at, spin rates, things like that. They're giving up accuracy as well, and I will explain why quickly. You're giving up all these things for distance, and again, net you may be losing out by grabbing 10 more yards. You're probably hitting less greens, hitting shots less close to the hole because of that. And I think like players need to think more about, what does my game actually need to get better. And I don't know what you've run into in this world, but I think most people go after the glitz and glam of distance for irons too. Yeah. When, I mean, what are irons? They're not a distance club. They're
an accuracy club.
Right. They're a
precision club.
Yeah. They're a scoring club, right? Yeah. So why wouldn't you want something that goes higher, is more forgiving on a mishit, that will stop more quickly, that will stop, again, it'll spin more as well when it lands. Why wouldn't you want that over like a low shot that goes 10 yards farther and bounces over the back of the green?
You got me on that one.
Nailed him.
But that's also knowing your game. And the thing that I have to say on this, and kind of in a concept of, is the material makeup and the process of it too, like cast versus forged, and understanding what makes each and the dispersion between each. I think I was reading an article the other day about cast versus forged clubs, and the dispersion isn't really
I can't imagine it's anything
as great as you would imagine or you would feel, and especially depending on the material that both clubs are made with, the feel doesn't even get lost all that much. Yeah. Like I did put a note down on here about talking about the material made, like the big myth in the big myth in the golf world is that like Japanese steel is the #1 steel, but like if you really break down the components of like forged steel and whatever type of steel they're using, like it is minimal the difference between the makeups and the materials that are using. I'm not going to get too sciencey on it, but
I want to get sciencey too. No, I got something to add, so go ahead, get sciencey.
Well, no. I don't have the actual data up. That's why I'm sorry. I can't get sciencey.
You could add it later.
Bill Nye. Maybe I'll pull up a chart and show you what the difference is between like a Mura. I said that's one, fine. But a Mura iron and a Mizuno forged iron. They're very, very minimal in the actual makeup quality of the material, of the steel. You could use Aerotech grade steel. It's not going to always be like that much of a difference in, whatever the rebound structure of that is, or anything like that.
You can only make a ball come off an iron's face so fast. It can't go it truly can't go any faster
without that ball actually combusting.
Yes.
There's only so much strain you can put under a material before it starts, and we see that all the time, like with the faces getting cut and balls getting nicked and hit. Like, you can only use something so many times before it just breaks down.
Mm-hmm. So I think to sum up what Andrew's trying to say is, when you're looking at irons, like, don't get caught up in it's forged or cast, or it's a super game improvement or a player's iron, right? You need to look at your game and figure out what suits you, and it's important to try things and hit them. So this is what I was going to add from the science end. Everybody talks about feel, forged feel, those kinds of things. Feel, if you don't know this, is actually based off of sound. So the feel that you get, the perception of it that you feel in your hands, actually comes from the sound that the club makes when it hits the ball. So there are definitely cast clubs out there that will feel just as good as many great forgings, and you will actually, everybody's ears are different, right?
Yeah.
Everybody's ears perceive sound differently. I know I'm getting a little technical here.
No, that's
everybody's ears perceive sound differently. And so the club that maybe feels the shittiest to some expert might feel great to you because of the way your ears perceive the sound of it.
Well, to put that also simply, and we've probably all had it, many times happen. Your buddies behind you, they're watching you hit a shot. You hit the shot. They say they really think I think we talked about it in the past. Like, it might be not the most golf intelligent person, but they really thought it was a nice shot, but only or heard, or it sounded like it was good, but you might have hit the grass just a little bit first, but you got that click in it enough for that guy to hear. And it's like, okay, that makes a lot of sense. That's not something I've ever really heard, that feel is based on a little concept of hearing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I guess all your five senses are kind of connected a little bit.
They are. It's truly a mystical world that we live in. So, yeah, when it comes to irons, again, find things that fit the problem you are having with your current set. Don't only look for distance. You can look for some, or if that's all you care about, be my guest. But you'll probably do yourself a disservice by focusing exclusively on, like, you're just pounding balls in a simulator and going, well, this one hit the one that went the farthest one time, so that is the one I will buy. Think about those other factors. Think about your game. Think about the courses you play when you're buying these things, and you will be better off for it in the long run.
So I'm just rewinding really quick back to the senses. Back to the senses thing. So does that mean, like, if my hearing, my sight, my touch, my smell, gosh, what if
you were senseless? Is that what
no?
Because you are
if
I was
senseless. If I was fully in tune, all five senses, that I could be like an actual good golfer.
I don't know if that's the case, but you would definitely be able to feel and hear everything in concert with.
You just gave me a womp womp
with the atmosphere. Sorry about that. The Price is Right sound when you lose kind of thing. You ever noticed when you lose, like, dude? Yeah, you lose and they give you like the wah wah, like make you feel really like shit, and then Bob just shoos you away and it says like that song comes on.
Right up next, we'll spin the wheel.
Yeah, like, sorry, guy, you just lost 10 grand. But anyways,
you never really had it, but yeah, okay,
you had it, you lost it.
All right, so what's? Do you have a next touch or?
Yeah,
okay.
I got a next touch. I always got a touch, you know.
Yeah. Because you're in touch.
One of the things too I've always found, one of the things that was very important to me was putter fitting. In my fitting days, I always felt like putter was a thing that no one got fit for. Nobody really paid much attention to anything but the look. Maybe the feel off the face as well. And again, we're talking about your average golfer.
The touch, the feel of cotton.
The touch, the feel of cotton, yes.
The fabric of our lives.
Wasn't ready for that. Oh, wow. And, you know, excluding like a good player who knows exactly what he's looking for. Again, we're talking about average type of golfer here.
Yeah.
They would go off the looks, right? And the hype train, right? Of the high-end, precision, milled, USA made putter that I won't say the name of. And truly 100%, like, that is a very small portion of the equation. Yes. Does that putter need to like look good to you? Does the head shape need to be pleasing to your eye? Those kinds of things. Of course, I will never deny that. Like I personally will play the same type of head style no matter what, probably till the day I die. But it's because that head style in concert with the length, the loft, the lie, the hosel configuration, the weight balance of that club style fits me. Those are the things that nobody pays attention to when they buy a putter. So I'm gonna go quick with this one, and I want to tell you, if you're listening to this, pay attention here.
Well, where do you think? Really quick question: where do you think that changed? Because do you think it changed with the creation of the mallet? Because I don't think
that's great. That's great.
Because I
question.
don't think you really. Gosh, you look back in the 80s and early 90s. I don't think there was a single player that was playing or a general mallet backing, and I feel like it came in probably the late 90s, early 2000s. That was really like, and maybe like
sounds right.
Maybe like the two ball.
Yeah, the two ball was Callaway hot, had like, the Tuttle or whatever, which was like a half moon kind of shaped thing.
Yeah, and the Callaway, the Odyssey 7, you know, now that it's the TaylorMade Spiders, all of those. But like, what was that? I think that's
that is probably one big portion of, right? Let's just say like way more to choose from in general, right? If you go to 1986, the Answer style blade putter was your option. It was just which brand are you going to go with, right? There wasn't hosel configurations and 7 different head shapes, adjustable weighting, right? So yeah, like choice has made it. Choice is great. It's expanded the options to the nth degree, but also it's made it so that everyone is just buying based off of a head shape, a style, that kind of thing, without looking at the other elements. So yeah, that's a great question, and that's certainly part of it, right? You have so many choices right now that it's really hard to understand why. Nobody's communicating why.
Well, we are as people, just in general, we are attracted to look, and I think that captures the general audience when you just start to say, oh man, that looks great.
Yep.
That looks great. And I think with all of these clubs that we're talking about right away, it might be, you know, something. let's go back to something that might have not looked that great. Let's talk about like the R. What was it? No, is it M1 with the like the compass style on the back of it, or something like that, or was it the
something? Yeah, it was an R something.
R something. But like something like that is like, oh, how are you gonna market that? But something like
they did.
Yeah, something that looks sleek, and you can kind of, again, market that and try to get people's eye sparkling behind it. Like everyone's seen a regular bladed putter. You know, well, there's not much you can do other than maybe put some. You see all these companies putting like decals on them and paint on them and everything like that. But there's not much else that you can do. So I think that's where some of the luster gets.
And the thing is that they are doing a lot. We just don't know what they are. So here's what I want to tell everybody to do. You want to look for a putter configuration that, one, allows you to square the face and hit the center of the face more frequently. Most important thing of all is the ball starting on the line you're looking at? All of the elements of that head, the head shape, the shaft and hosel configuration, all of those things contribute to how square you square the face at impact.
Yeah. And hold on, don't be a head case. Pick out a putting style. Commit to a putting style.
Yeah, I mean, you
don't commit to
your
it.
Your natural style is what is exactly what should guide this decision, and this is where people are going wrong. You go, I really like the look of that slant neck spider. Well, guess what, bud? That putter is made for a stroke with a fair amount of open to close arc. If your natural stroke doesn't have that much open to close arc, you will not make putts with that putter.
Well, so yes, I agree. And what I was saying on top of that is the people that are thinking about purchasing or even just putting in general that have just gotten, a putter from, I don't know, the Goodwill or their Uncle Pat, make sure
Shout out Uncle Pat.
Uncle Pat.
Dude, a legend.
We'll see you at Thanksgiving.
A legend.
He's that crazy uncle at Thanksgiving. Yep. But that's something like that someone needs to learn. Like, make sure you're sticking to a putting stroke that feels comfortable before you even go in and start this purchasing process, because then you're gonna, like you're saying, you're gonna alter yourself, like saying, well, I really don't have a putting
I can make
stroke.
this work.
Yeah,
I can make this one work because it looks so damn good.
I'll figure it out.
Here's my $400. I would like to make 0 putts, please. Thank you. That's what you're saying.
Come back to you 5 weeks later. Sir, I didn't make a single thing inside 5 feet.
Yep. So, putters, I honestly would say, like, go see a good fitter for your putt. If you were going to fit for one club in your bag only, I would say putter. Yeah. If you had to choose only one, I would say putter, and nobody does. They do the driver.
What's something everybody says, Scott?
Drive for show, putt for dough. 100%. And I mean legit. It's real.
You will use that club the most during a round.
Yes, so. You will use it the most. So okay, yeah.
So
what else? You gotta have one more.
I got my last one. I think I have just kind of been turned off. We're going to touch back to the first episode that we ever talked about, that we ever had here, and that's talking about brand loyalty. As you kind of touched on with the driver 3-wood, 5-wood sort of thing, is not being married to one brand anymore. Like, one brand, if one brand made the best clubs, driver through putter, first off, we would stand up and congratulate you on the monopoly you just created for the golf industry.
Wouldn't those brands all say technically that they do?
All the brands. I think all the brands mostly do, or they.
We're really good at everything except our irons suck.
Number one iron in golf or something, and we could go through the list of seeing how they market that, because it was based on the sales concept from sales. or July through June, or July through June. That's a reverse. July through August of last year. Yeah, we were number one for a period of a month. Right. Okay, great, sweet. Okay, you told the half truth, but so I'm just gonna tell a quick story. I have a buddy who started golfing at the middle of COVID, and I've been slowly getting him clubs and getting him, got him started with a package set. All right, within 3 months of seeing all this golf and playing this much, he's like, okay, I want the new TaylorMade driver. I want the new TaylorMade 3-wood. I want TaylorMade wedges. Yeah,
they snap at you like that.
Here you go. I mean, it seems like it at times. But
bewitched kind of situation.
I can't stress to people enough that manufacturers, you're going to have to try out different ones for your game, for different components of the golf game, to really find out what's going to work for you. Because if you limit yourself to one specific manufacturer, then all you're going to do is just you're going to lose out on the quality that you could possibly be gaining somewhere else. And that goes all the way down to the golf ball. Even you're going to have to try that out for so many golf ball companies, or so many wedge companies, so many putter companies, so many iron companies, all of those components. And it, like, saying it now and talking about it now, it sounds exhaustive, but if you want to reap the benefits of a good golf game or fitting to your particular golf game, you have to do that. You have to spend that time.
These are tools.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. So it sounds like the summation. It sounds like you're kind of putting a bow on all this.
Summing up.
Well, I want to give people something tangible here for each of these topics, rather than just rambling on and on. But also, it sounds like you're pulling together the whole thing here, really, to say, like, when you're making this decision about your entire bag, don't sleep on any one of the decisions, right?
Yeah.
Like, not only should you be thoughtful about your game and what type of tools you need for each type of shot, but like factor in that just blindly selecting one brand is part of that.
Yeah, it's a two-tone sort of thing.
Sorry, I bothered you with my summaries.
You bother me with everything.
I know.
It's a two-tone thing. You have to, and this seems almost nearly impossible, but that's the game of golf. That's the game of golf we're talking about. You have to go in with an open mind
and an open heart.
But with enough pointed decisions that you want to make to actually go in there. So, like, you have to have an open concepted mind, but be pointed to what you're looking for. Because if you don't, then, well, you might not have a nice guy like Scott, and they're just going to try to either take advantage of your wallet, or you're going to come out more confused than ever and not know. Or you could get divorced, you know? You could be coming home with divorce papers.
What are these things that say PXG all over them in the garage? Oh, no.
Honey, I just got an alert for $3,500. Are you kidding me?
Fair point. Yeah, I'd rather see you buy nothing if you ended up trying clubs and hit your own one better than them. That 100%. Would probably be a good confirmation to you that, like, yeah, hey, this one works. Like, stick with it.
I'd rather you borrow my clubs for a round, try a buddy's clubs out, or go to Goodwill and get more clubs and just keep trying things before you spend.
Don't go to Goodwill. Those clubs will not.
That's. Do you ever see those YouTube videos of people like going to Goodwill and I'm going to put together this set?
Yeah.
It's like scratch golfers and they end up still golfing scratch.
Yeah.
You're not that guy, pal.
Yeah, you're not. Those guys don't count. Yeah. So that's a good point you bring up of like what to do, right?
Yeah.
What to do, how to try things.
What can we do?
Yeah. So, he brings up a good point. Like, there's nothing wrong with buying a club that you've done the math on and think it might work and it doesn't, and you sell it and buy another one. There's nothing wrong with like hitting your buddy's clubs. I know it's this weird, like, it's a little bit of a weird taboo. Some people are like, nobody's hitting my clubs. Like, yeah, I don't want your SKYMark, but also like you may find that 5 wood your buddy has, like you might hit it and go, oh, dude, that's exactly the like flight I'm looking for.
Yeah.
And you actually get to try it either on the range in person or on the course and actually see what it does rather than banging it into a mat in a store.
Disclaimer, if you are the buddy that is allowing your other buddy to hit your golf clubs, make sure you get you break it, you buy it clause. We gotta have that established.
You'd be surprised how often that actually happens, the break on the one swing.
Yeah, and that's where, you just have to have friends like us that can fix that stuff.
Yeah. Yes.
That's it. That's the only way that works.
Yep.
Or reach out to us, interact. Let's go. But the other thing, so on top of this is one thing that I actually would love to start doing. And I know it exists out there. I've heard it. I've read about them, but like I would love to do blind tests. Blind tests to establish this in people's minds. People that are maybe not stubborn people, but people that are dead set on one of these concepts of ours that we just said, it's a myth. If you believe in that hard, I would love you to go out to a club, do a blind test, ask someone to give you 2 different clubs, hit them, and tell me what your results are. Because that ultimately would be more telling than anything I feel.
That's true.
That is just like, okay, I'll take that data. I will prove to you that what you're thinking in your mind is not actually right. It's not actually like you're convincing yourself based on some other aspect out there that could be any of the number one things we said. I would love to conduct blind tests. I'd love to send people clubs.
How do you do that? How do you get somebody to not look at the bottom of a golf club before they hit it? What's the first thing you do when somebody hands you a club?
You look at it.
You give it the waggle, right? You hold it up, you give it the waggle, you go, it's too flexy.
Yeah.
Too flexy. Hate that. And then you kind of hoist it up.
Yeah, that's one
like
thing
a sheath.
We're talking about buying, but
I don't even want to get into fitting and all that, but that's another day, right? Yeah. And then you kind of sheath it down here so you can look at the top, and you're like, oh yeah, that's. I like the colors.
Yep.
I like the color scheme this year on that one. That would be the challenge of the blind test. Like, how do I not get idiot golf guys to look at the golf club?
Well, yeah, and then how do you cover like top lines and all of that, because you could easily speculate. But it's I mean, the data's out there, not exactly blind testing, but there's robot testing. There's all of this various testing, but
and there is awesome, like I mentioned this to you, like there are awesome companies like My Golf Spy that are doing like really unbiased, like cool testing. They're using different handicap groups, different swing speed groups to test new product and publishing those results to show like, hey, this is the best driver for swing speeds over 105. This is the best driver for swing speeds under 90. Like those are good tests, and I think a good base point for people to start with. I believe they are truly not paid by the manufacturers.
Really?
They insist they are. Many people insist that they're being paid.
Well, I mean, they're getting everything probably for free. Well, you would.
I believe most manufacturers do send them things for free, but there have been some that I've heard in the past like that don't, and they have to buy it or whatever. Wow. But that's, such is life. If you want to do your testing and make your money off of your ad revenues, you want to get that ad revenue cheddar, then you got to go buy a couple stealth drivers or whatever.
Pay me that cheddar.
Yep. But yeah, there's companies providing a lot of good data to start with.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't know what we.
Well, no, I
meant to direct people somewhere.
I think you did. I got into blind testing, and you were kind of. I think you were trying to get into. Be educated enough that you open your mind, but don't be afraid of the concept of being fit. You don't have to get fit for a full bag. You don't have to go in and say, okay, there's these places nowadays that do full bag fittings and everything, and you need to be in for a 4-hour session. Yeah, that sounds exhausting. I get it.
Horrible.
But there's also pick out a point of your game that you want to work on in a season. And say, okay, well, I want to get to a place where I can find the right thing for this particular part of my game, and go in, get fit, see a professional, make sure that you trust them, they trust you, everything like that, and
this is like finding a doctor, man.
Exactly, exactly. You're gonna spend that much time if you're gonna spend that much time on the golf course, might as well have fun doing it in the right way.
Yeah.
Instead of just drinking 15 beers like I do all the time. Instead of.
Well, tell me about Mr. 15 Beers.
Yeah.
Tell me about like a club your last club purchase and why you purchased it.
Oh, jeez. I don't purchase clubs.
I know you don't purchase clubs.
Really. Gosh. I can't. I actually can't tell you the last. I think the last new club I put into my bag was actually a driver. So don't follow my lead, but always. But that's because I donated my driver to the new guy that we were talking about. What a guy! So but we didn't even talk about that. But the one before that was wedges. Were wedges, and I'm unfortunately a 50, 56, 60 guy. But then I also found the key to wedges was finding the grind that fit my actual impact to the turf, to the ground, and I found that, and it's working out. Next year, I think I need to get fit back into a putter. There you go. I really do, because
I can help you with that.
No, I think you can.
So Andrew, you needed a driver because you literally didn't have a driver because you gave yours away. So and that's not
I bomb it. So
and he does bomb it, so it doesn't even really matter. So he's a horrible example.
Okay, what about you then?
Well, first of all, I wanted to say, here's how you know. So Andrew doesn't buy clubs because he performed well in his job and was offered a free set of irons for performing that job and just never ordered them.
Correct.
Yeah, just never ordered them.
Yeah, I mean, I could have. I'm still playing, 8-year-old irons, but here's the thing: 8-year-old irons, as long as you take care of them, as long as you get them cleaned,
it's like a puppy.
Yeah, you don't have to sharpen them. You don't have to do all of this extra. It's like a puppy.
Yeah, you just got to take care
it out
of it,
for
feed
a walk.
Hey, exactly. If you want to keep this kid, you got to take care of it. You got to feed it.
We're gonna talk forever. So, can you wrap this up? Can you wrap up here?
I can wrap it up. I'm just trying to have a little fun.
No,
here.
I'm having great fun.
Okay, cool. So I hope we were like a little helpful to anyone. If anyone wants help, like, reach out. You can put it in the comments. We will answer your question, happily guide you to a solid decision.
I think what we'll try to do is try to get like this information transcripted. At least you suggested this earlier this week, trying to get it scripted into our blog and
transcribed.
I did it.
There it is. Got him.
Looking for it.
Got him.
I'm trying to force a Paxton plug in here, but I don't think we're gonna get one. I don't think we're gonna get one today.
No.
Paxton plug. Just Paxton.
Just.
I'm gonna put a Paxton
generic
plug right here.
It's Paxton, y'all.
So nice. It's so nice. Bill Paxton, R.I.P. We love you. Okay, let's break into our last two.
What do you got?
Every constant to what can I think?
Let me help him out. He's on his phone. This is what he does to me when I'm talking to him too.
Yep.
I think what Andrew wants to bring to you is a little thing that we call Champion Golfer of the Week.
The champion golfer of the week.
Yeah. Thank you, Scott. My champion golfer of the week, much like you did a couple of weeks ago, is actually an organization, a newer organization. It is called the TMWR, and it is a company led by Rory and Tiger that is adding.
Is it TMRW?
Did I say?
You man.
Man, I just can't.
I looked at it.
Win.
I looked at it on the notes, and I'm like, "That's not."
What did I say?
He said TMWR.
TMWR. Tomorrow, like he
TMRW.
TMRW, folks. It is Tiger and Rory's company that is looking to put out a technologically kind of advanced golf league. And they just got a ton of celebrity investors that came in that are going to 100% help bring exposure to not only I haven't read even as much about the league and what it's going to bring and all of the concepts that they have out there, but we've got names like Stephen Curry, we've got Shohei Ohtani, we've got everything from
Lewis Hamilton. Shout out Lewis
Hamilton, Justin Timberlake. We've got Tyler Ninja Blevins. I know you're not a gamer guy.
That is, yeah.
Huge name in the gaming industry. Like all of these guys investing into this golf technology concept. Look for it to come more. But if that's the investor group behind this, I mean, I can't see how something like this fails.
What are they doing?
So
I don't know what I have heard of this. I remember when they like kind of announced this a few months ago, but then I never heard any more. I thought they were going to do some sort of like indoor golf league or something.
That's the one thing that I saw, that it is a virtual, technologically driven golf league that is either via simulator or something like the way Top Tracer is and Top Golf is. And I don't know if it's going to be publicly driven or if it's going to be a publicly contributing and publicly competing, or if it's going to be privately and it's going to be like an actual league for semi pros or other amateurs, or you have to qualify for it. I'm not sure, but it is going to be there are two concepts that I love here: golf and technology, both driven by that. So my champion golfer of the week is TMRW.
Was the thing they did this week getting all of the announcing these investors? You should look at the full list. What TMRWsportsgroup.com.
Yeah,
the full list of investors
I'll pull up the full list.
Loaded.
It's so impressive because every professional sports league or competition has at least 2 to 5 investors in there, and that just shows you how like, I think I said this in episode 1 again. This is like an episode that we keep drawing back.
Gotta keep drawing back to the future.
In episode 1, I talked about how all of these professional athletes and other people are very enthralled or very attracted to golf. This shows you another concept of that, and I think that's amazing. So,
all right,
congratulations.
I always doubt these kind of things, but I'm interested.
TMRW,
yeah, like Tiger Woods always announces stuff, and then kind of like nothing happens. Remember,
he's not doing very much anymore.
Remember, he was supposed to do that golf course like on the lake in Chicago, and it's just like nothing's happened. But hey, I trust you, Tiger. I trust you guys
that might have
gotten
tied up in Chicago litigation.
Yeah, I'm sure
we couldn't even go. But go ahead.
Yeah. Lori Lightfoot got up
can you listen to this really quickly?
Sure.
So of the group, so not only Tiger and Rory, but this investor group combines to add 113 Formula 1 wins, 40 Emmys, 32 NBA All-Star games, 16 NFL Pro Bowls, 26 Grand Slam titles, 21 Olympic medals, 8 MVP titles across 4 sports, 4 Grammys, 8 NBA championships, 7 F1 World Championships, 5 UEFA titles, 3 Stanley Cups, 3 MLB.
Wow.
Like, holy!
Hey, let's just point out. It's at 26 Grand Slam titles, which would refer to tennis.
It's so only Serena.
23 of those are Serena Williams.
I mean, come on. You gotta shoot me down from the sky.
No. I think that's insane that she's a 20. I didn't know she was a 23-time Grand Slam champ. That's insane.
Shout out Serena. You're a legend.
Serena.
You're a legend.
Oh my God. That's just insane. Okay, Andrew, thank you. That's really cool. I didn't know that was going anywhere. So one last thing for the day. We're trying to go faster today. We're trying to go fast like Sonic. One last thing we got today. You know what it is. It's a little bit of On This Day.
Love it.
On this day.
So for On This Day, I'm actually going to go with On This Week. And on this week in 2004, the great Vijay Singh was capping off a 9-win season just in the heart of the Tiger dominance era. Vijay, at 41 years old, was just dusting his hands off on a 9-win season that included the PGA Championship. We saw him go to world number 1 as well. That was the first time in the 2000s that anyone who was not Tiger Woods was number one in the world.
Dang.
A David Duval sandwich there. VJ and David Duval as the bread on the outside at the 99.
Dude, he had a swing smoother than this Icelandic yogurt.
VJ
Like
smoother than this SKYR.
SKYR, yes.
I don't know what's going on here.
Smooth like silk. Smooth as
like
SKYR. Smooth like SKYR.
I want to find out how to say that word for real. And just really cool. Like VJ, people forget this. I mean, 9 wins in a year. Who's won more than like 3 anytime recently? It's uncommon, and winning 9 was mega. He also did all this dirty work really late in his career, like into his 40s, which is cool. So he won 9 that year. Over the next 4 years, he would win 10 more times. So like in his 40s, he won, I don't know, almost 19 times, maybe 20 if I go back to the previous year.
Yeah.
20 times in his 40s. Like, there's not too many guys who do that. I was going to say, man, that kind of doesn't happen at all, but like Phil Mickelson still was winning. But there haven't been that many guys. So
has he had success on the Champions Tour?
I think he's had a little bit of success. I think he still tries to play a little bit of PGA Tour golf.
Gotcha.
Occasionally too.
Whatever exemptions he has left.
Yeah, and I think he's got a lifetime exemption probably once you've won. I don't know how many it is, but I think if you win like 20 times, it's a lifetime exemption.
Wow.
So shout out VJ Singh. The guy was a monster. Could have been one of our guys from like 2 or 3 weeks
at 41.
Yeah, 9 wins at 41. Just doing the thing. So big ups to VJ. Appreciate you, man. You're a legend. And that's on this day.
Great. That's great.
So let's put a bow on this bad boy and just just to summarize. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not going to summarize again.
Summation.
I did say in
you
summation.
Did say in summation.
I'm not even going to you all know what to do now, okay? Don't mess this up. All right? Don't just blow your money. I remember when your parents you'd get $5 and your parents would be like, "Don't blow that." That's what you're doing with your money. So stop.
No burning your holes in your pocket for golf stuff.
Don't do it.
Be smart.
Don't do it.
You already got to pay for the round.
Yeah.
Don't dig yourself a hole.
Should we put a close on this bad boy?
Especially with your spouses, your significant others. We appreciate all of you too. So watch your people.
Yeah. All right.
Let's put a bow on it.
We'll see you next week.
We will see you next week.
Bro.